Implementing AI into your business is the biggest fucking buzzword I've seen in a long, long time. And I fell victim to this for about a month. It caused my business to contract horrendously. And so in this video, what we decided to do is run you through why implementing AI is important, the use cases for implementing AI, and how to go about implementing AI. Do not do what I did and go and say, I'm gonna fucking automate my whole business, or I'm gonna build this robust thing and waste all your time on shit that doesn't make you money. And I'll probably swear a lot in this video because it's a bit of a sore subject, but at the same time, it is one of the most important concepts to understand if you are thinking about implementing AI into your marketing agency, into your info product, into whatever business you're currently running. So why is implementing AI important in the first place? Well, for one, if you don't implement AI, it's pretty much like ignoring the internet back in whenever the internet came around. One of the best examples I love to use, which is honestly kind of funny, if you've ever followed Barstool, or if you're familiar with a guy named Stu Feiner, he ran a gambling business that essentially sold people picks. Like, this is who you should bet on this week. We will help you bet on this person. You pay us for the information. So it's essentially just an information product at scale for sports betting. And they were crushing. I want to say they did like 10 or somewhere between 10 and 20 million a year, just slinging sports picks. It was the wildest thing I've ever seen until the internet came around and his entire business collapsed. Like, again, they were doing $1 million, if not $2 million a month. Internet came around, business crashed. The same thing is true for AI today. Now, in some industries, it's not going to catch up as fast, but if you are ignorant to this fact and you are not willing to implement AI to some extent into your business, you will lose. Because what this allows you to do is AI allows you to take the outputs from one person and 10x it. That's it. Whatever one person can do, they can now do 10 times as much in the same amount of time. The key to this, again, and we'll get to it later in the video, is how to actually approach implementing this. But that's it. Like, don't overcomplicate this. All that AI is at the end of the day is a tool that allows you to 10x your output. Too many people are focused on AI being able to run their whole business for them. I'm going to build fucking AI employees. I'm going to do all this bullshit and make my life 1,000 times easier. When in reality, all they end up doing is taking a 5-minute task and spending 4 hours trying to automate it. And then it breaks on the second day that they do it. And this is why it's so important to come into this AI space with the right head, with the right mental frame understanding. Because again, you don't want to be the guy that takes a 5-minute task and tries to automate it for 4 hours only for it to break. And so what are some of the use cases that you can actually use AI for? What are some of the key tasks? Now, in the marketing and sales world, there's a couple of things. Ad ideation with a little bit of scripting, funnel builds, sales call audits, copywriting in general, data management, CRM management. There are a ton of things that you can use AI for inside of your business. These are just a couple of them. And you can use platforms like Claude Code, Manus, Codex, Hermes Agent, OpenClaw, which sucks ass. Way too technical for most people to set up. Don't waste your time doing it. Claude Cowork. Like, there are so many platforms and tools that you can use. So how do we actually go about implementing this? There are a couple of key concepts that you need to understand in order to decide what to use AI for and how to actually implement it. There are two ways that AI works. We have agentic workflows, and then we just have linear workflows. Linear workflows, very simply put, are just Zapier automations, or any of the automation tools you may have previously used where there's a trigger. It says, hey, when this action happens, do this, then do this, then do this. That is what we call a linear workflow. It's very, very straightforward, very, very hard to break. Agentic workflows are a little bit different. This is where you give it a vague prompt. I want you to build me a funnel for this. I want you to write ad copy for this. I want you to analyze this call recording. And then it takes all the context that you've given it and it produces an output. Again, the difference is a linear is from A to B, and an agentic is from A to data set, analyzing all the different things it can do, to B, producing output. That is the difference in these two. And where a lot of people go wrong when it comes to implementing is they take these very simple linear workflows, or maybe slightly complex linear workflows, and they try to turn it into this giant agentic thing. Don't do that. If you are adding book calls to a spreadsheet, just use Zapier. If you're adding leads to your CRM, just use a tool like Zapier. Don't overcomplicate this and say, cool, I'm going to build an agentic workflow that reads my Calendly account and pushes it to this and then that and then all these things. Because all that ends up happening is you open up a risk for stuff to break a lot easier. If it's a simple A, B, C, D thing, I highly encourage using basic automation tools. There's no reason to overcomplicate this process. If, however, I'm going to build custom funnels and copywriting and sales call recordings, just like I said, that is where we'll use agentic workflows. And this brings me to the next part of this implementation process, is what a lot of high-level business owners will do, and this is what got us to where we're at in the first place, but they'll go, okay, cool, I want to implement AI, I'm going to learn all about AI. And their ADHD kicks in, and all of a sudden, instead of generating revenue and focusing on the money-making activities, they go spend time on AI and their business just contracts. It's a huge, huge issue. Now, should you have a basic understanding? Yes. Is watching a video like this important? Yes. Why? Because it gives you a solid foundation and understanding as to what to expect. There are more technical videos that you can get into, and that's great. Watch them if you want to. But remember, as a business owner, you need to be prioritizing things by what makes you the most money. If I have 4 different actions and 1 makes me a ton, 2 makes me a little, 3 makes me less, and 4 makes me nothing, I need to make sure that all of my time is being spent here. And the problem is AI is an action where you don't even know how much money you're going to make. So why in the hell would I take my money-making activity time and redirect it to AI? It doesn't make sense. And so instead, what you should be doing is twofold. One, paying for an info product, which I have a shout out Cabrin and Elijah over at AI Drivers. Great info product. One I encourage buying if you are into AI. One I encourage you to get involved with, just let them know that I sent you. But buy an info product so that somebody else does all the learning and implementation for you and you can just rip their systems, or hire somebody. It's that simple. That's simple. Don't do it yourself. Don't try to learn everything yourself. Don't try to read all the fucking articles. Don't do all this fancy shit trying to implement AI. If you're making 100K a month in your business, you can hire out somebody for 4 or 5 grand a month. Because again, what's also very fascinating about this space is because it's so new, no one has proven value yet. And because it changes so fast, it's very hard for someone to prove value before everything changes. And so what you can do is, again, twofold. Invest in an info product or hire somebody. If you're curious what implementing this looks like for your business, depending on where you're at and how we're actually using it inside of our own marketing and sales agency, there's gonna be a link below. You can fill out the application, book a call to speak to myself or a member of the team about what implementing AI can look like for your business and how we use it as an agency to do things like ad creation and scripting and funnel builds and sales call audits and copywriting and data management, CRM management, and much, much more. Again, you can book that call. Now, the last point I want to emphasize with AI specifically that I think is overlooked all the time, AI is a tool. AI is not the answer. You should know the answers. All AI does is amplify your current state. So if I'm me and I have an idea, AI allows me to take that idea and really extrapolate what I can get out of it. For example, if I'm scripting ads, I'm going to come to that session with angles that I already thought of. And then I'm going to take my call recordings, plug it in and ask, hey, can you produce more ad angles? This is what I like. This is what I want to put in there. What's the data saying? What else should we add? Then what I'll do is I'll take all the angles that got produced and I'll go and I'll handwrite a handful of ads, 10 to 20 of them. And then I'll say, cool, this is the base set of ads, how we script, angles, all that. Can we produce a little bit more? And now it's going off of what you've already done and it's amplifying your work. Where most people go wrong is they say, cool, AI, here's my task, do it. It just fucks the entire process. And you end up getting all this AI slop and then people repost it and you can smell it. Like if you've ever seen someone write something and it's like, hi, Bob, and it's got this long, weird dash, it's a huge sign of AI. Yet you see people do it all the time on platforms like LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram. It's like, buddy, fuck off. Stop being lazy. Do the work. That is the last frame of mind I want you to understand with AI is it is a tool. It is something to amplify what you're currently doing. It is not something that you should say, hey, just do it for me. It's something where you go and you say, cool, I have this task I'm trying to complete. I want to complete it faster. Let me think through this. And the other thing is making sure to not get lazy in the iteration process. So sometimes people do the work, they give it, AI amplifies it, great. And then they go, oh shit, that was a lot of output. I don't want to audit it. Can't audit it for me. And again, you're removing the human layer. You're removing the aspect of the auditing process that allows for the biggest improvements. So you always want to be stepping in. Simple tip to this. If I have AI produce me 50 ads, I say, cool, show me one ad at a time. We're going to edit this one by one. And so hopefully guys, I know this video is all over the place. There's a ton of topics I could touch on, but in general, implementing AI is one of the most important things in your business. If you're making over 50 grand a month, hire somebody. Don't waste your time trying to figure this shit out yourself. Do what I did and have your business just fucking contract horrendously. So I hope this helps. If you want more AI content when it comes to marketing and sales, just drop a comment below what you want to see. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, book that call, and I'll see you in the next one.